I left in the middle of a dinner with my girlfriend's family because they kept speaking in their mother tongue. I am from Galicia, a region in Spain that speaks a language that is very similar to Portuguese, and my girlfriend is from Barcelona, which is in Catalonia. She speaks Catalan. We live in Madrid and study here in university. Everyone in Spain speaks Spanish except for foreigners, pretty much on a native level from education, media, and exposure. There is no such thing as a Spaniard who only speaks Basque, Catalan, or whatever unless they're 90+ years old from some small village, and even then, they would still know the basics of Castilian Spanish. I know I'm going to get some comments about this. Okay, so here's the conflict. People from Catalonia are often very nationalistic and will sometimes refuse to speak Castilian. I was in Valencia and some B-word said, "Speak properly, speak Valencian, a dialect of Catalan." When I asked her for directions in Castilian Spanish, my girlfriend invited me over to her parents' house in Barcelona. They talked amongst themselves for a bit in Catalan. I understood maybe half or 2/3 of a second of it. They greet me in Catalan and I say in Castilian. I don't speak Catalan, I'm from Galicia. They say something in Catalan to each other, which I think was negative. We eat dinner. Her sisters and their husbands are there, and are discussing things in Castilian, and they would often say things to each other in Catalan, which I thought was rude, but I let it go. They kept switching to Catalan during our conversation, and I politely reminded them like 5 times I don't speak Catalan. They would go back to Castilian but then switch back to Catalan. I go outside to take a breath of fresh air. Girlfriend joins me, and I ask her what the F is her family's problem. Why do they keep excluding me from the conversation? And she says they hate speaking Castilian. I told her that's BS. I heard her dad speak in Castilian to someone in Peru during his Zoom meeting. He took a 30-minute Zoom call while I was there and the mom was preparing food. And not once did he switch to Catalan. We join back and they start asking me my opinion about things. I respond. I ask them questions and they just respond back in Catalan and respond to each other's responses to that in Catalan. And I just had enough and said, "I'm leaving now. The food was good but I just can't stand the rudeness. I told you so many times I do not speak Catalan. I don't feel welcome, so I'm going. Goodbye." And the father says, "How freaking rude. We prepared such a good meal for you and you are leaving it unfinished. We spent hours on this. They made an entire goose and like 5 side dishes." I said, "I freaking told you I don't speak Catalan. Why should I be here when you can't even respect me enough to speak in a common language? I never spoke to you in Galician, Portuguese, English, or Romanian. Freak you a-holes." I grabbed my stuff and left. 15 missed calls from my girlfriend last night. Staying at a friend's parents' home nearby. Haven't talked in a day. I don't know what to do now. Am I the a-hole?
Here are the top comments.
I think you can refer to her as your ex-girlfriend. Responding to rudeness with more rudeness does not make you right. You went way over the top with your anger.
It would be one thing if it were limited to asides to each other, but to switch right in the middle of talking with you in order to cut you out is just them being needlessly aggressive in their parochial bullcrap. It is rude. You aren't speaking your native local language, but the common one in order to communicate, but rather than meeting you halfway and doing the same, they would rather play games than put that shit aside for a day so they can get to know you. You don't get to give someone the finger repeatedly, then get all offended when they aren't willing to put up with it anymore. Not the a-hole.